Looking good, baby. Welcome to Falsecrack MMA News Rundown for Friday, July 2nd. I'm Justin Snow coming to you from Kona on the Big Island in Hawaii. And we are only 2 or 3 days away from Fight Week, UFC 264, McGregor vs. Poirier 3. Falsecrack MMA will be reporting from Las Vegas all week, starting Tuesday. We will be at the Media Day press conference on Wednesday, weigh-ins on Friday, and finally, we're going to be all over that fight and post-fight coverage on Saturday from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. If you could think of any questions for me to ask these athletes next week, please comment below. And as always, please make sure that you three-piece that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Without your support, this really wouldn't be possible. And because we're so new, each and every subscription really counts, as we're trying to reach 100 followers so we can get a YouTube URL set up and hopefully start guiding more traffic in here. But enough of the boring stuff. Let's get after it. Here is your MMA news rundown for the week. Coming in at number 5, Team Volk with a dub. Finally, after 4 long weeks on The Ultimate Fighter, Coach Alexander Volkanovski's team secures their first win with Brian Pooh Bear Battle's decision victory over Cameron Lachnov in an exciting 2-rounder that saw Lachnov coming forward in the second, hands down like a zombie, while Battles did his best to pick him apart from the outside. In the end, it was all Pooh Bear with the honeypot. What we didn't see this week was any drama in the house, and it was sort of alluded to last week on Volk's appearance on Submission Radio. In fact, it almost seems like everybody is really chill and getting along pretty swimmingly with nothing in the way of drama even being set up in the preview for next week's show. So it kind of begs the question, Volk, you dodgy bludger, enough with the Flemington confetti, yeah? That's the best Australian you're going to get out of me. Coming in at number 4, Alexander Gustafsson has got to fight. Swedish MMA outlet Front Kick Online reported yesterday that Alexander Gustafsson is set to face Paul Craig in his UFC light heavyweight return on September 4th. If you guys remember correctly, the Mauler is coming off a 3-fight skid, with his most recent loss being against Fabricio Verdum via armbar in July 2020 on Fight Island. While it might appear that Gus is approaching the twilight of his career, try to keep in mind that his most recent losses were to absolute savages like Anthony Lionheart Smith and John Bones Jones, and that the Mauler is still very much in the conversation at 205, especially now that Jones is left without a division. Needless to say, this is a must-win for Alexander Gustafsson. At number 3, Inganu vs. Lewis vs. Gain fiasco. Where to start? Dana White set the internet on fire this week by announcing a heavyweight interim championship fight between Cyril Gain and Derek Lewis in Houston August 7th on the heels of Gain's dominant win over Alexander Volkov last week. This then prompted a heated exchange online between Dana White and the current heavyweight champ Francis Ngannou's manager, Markel Martin, where the UFC president said that Ngannou's manager knew that this was coming and that because the UFC told Martin just that. Dana White went on to suggest that perhaps Francis' manager was incompetent and that Ngannou might want to start looking for better representation. There are a few things to unpack here. Number 1, while it is unprecedented for the organization to hold an interim fight for the belt after Ngannou's win just 3 months ago, my feelings are that this is much ado about nothing. The UFC was clearly looking to beef up the August card in Houston, with the most obvious choice for the promotion was to go with the hometown hero Derek the Black Beast Lewis. Francis is not being stripped at this time, and it would seem that this was more about trying to create a big event in Houston and less about the UFC trying to screw over or manipulate their athletes like the media has been reporting. Number 2, there are, however, very far-reaching repercussions for many in the heavyweight division as a result of this interim belt, namely John Jones and Stipe Miocic, who can now basically expect to take the next year off if they want to wait for their shot at gold. Number 2, Sean O'Malley's got a dancing partner, baby. Nolan King of MMA Junkie reported Wednesday that Sean O'Malley will in fact be fighting on UFC 264 after his previous opponent dropped off the event. The Suga Show will now be facing UFC newcomer Chris Montujo, who is 9-4 next Saturday. This fight will be at bantamweight. The news came on the heels of Louis Smolka's pulling out due to a staph infection just days before the promotion was left scrambling to keep O'Malley on the card. At the time, Smolka's teammate Ricky Simone was in the conversation to replace Smolka, but Ariel Helwani reported on Wednesday that Simone was unwilling to make the cut down to 135. Please, 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 MMA gods, do not take anyone else off this card. And our number 1 story this week is Conor McGregor's possible staph infection. As Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier get ready to face off for the 3rd time next Saturday, on Wednesday, pictures went viral of Conor McGregor on a bike ride that showed an unusual marking on his left elbow that got some commenters speculating on whether or not the Notorious might be suffering from a staph infection. Some people thought it might just be mat burn, while others made comments saying that if it was staph, the Notorious might already be on the mend. It's been the opinion of many experts in the sport that antibiotics might have a negative effect on an athlete's conditioning, which Conor McGregor has had issues with in the past. Oh, and look out, Falsecrack story of the week. Earlier this week, a video surfaced of former Bellator fighter Joe Schilling, showing Schilling punching an intoxicated bar patron in the face in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. When asked about the video, Schilling stated that the busboy, who happens to be black, walks by and this idiot bumps into him and screams out, "Me and my broke N-word, we don't get along." The busboy was seriously offended but didn't want to lose his job. As the night goes on, this clown starts looking at me and rapping whatever song's being played, making eye contact with me. And I'm like, what's wrong with this idiot? He yells, "Hey," and I turn around and he flexes on me. Bad decisions are made every day, and you can see from the video that he flexed on me and I was scared for my life and simply defending myself against the evil in this world. Bloody Elbow now reports that the victim in question is a 31-year-old named Justin Balboa, who also happens to be a busboy at a nearby Outback Steakhouse, who allegedly is pressing charges against Schilling at this time. Two notable pieces to the backstory here are that, number one, the manager of the bar that this incident took place in told Bloody Elbow that Balboa has been involved in constant problems with the establishment and that Schilling wasn't out of line. And number two is that this isn't the first time Schilling has been involved in an attack such as this. According to Wikipedia, in September 2020, Schilling posted on Instagram Live a video showing himself kicking a homeless man in the street and claiming that he attacked a man after finding the victim using a sex toy in the showers at Schilling's gym. Oh boy, how's that for a Falsecrack story of the week? It's got everything you're looking for. A Falsecrack shot, sex toy, showers, homeless people, holy smokes. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this week's Falsecrack MMA News Rundown for July 2nd. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in Vegas. And as always, watch your back out there. We'll see you next time.